Hello, everybody. Allie Bloyd here. And today I've got a really special interview with someone who is in my local marketing mastery program. His name is Miguel, and he has got a really awesome story that I know you guys are going to find encouraging and definitely very helpful. So welcome, Miguel. Thanks for taking some time to talk to me today.
Hey, Ali. Thanks for. I'm very honored to be here, by the way.
Well, I
I'm
am
so
super
glad.
honored to have you. So before we dive in, why don't you just tell everyone some of your background, what you previously were doing and kind of how you've transitioned. But I really want them to understand what your specialties are and what your goals were before joining this program.
Okay, great. So I'm a music school owner. So I've been in business for 12 years. So the first 5 years for me was complete hell because nobody out there was helping other music schools to create a profitable and scalable business model. And so basically I have 12 years in business, but the first 5 were we almost got into bankruptcy and we get at like $80,000 in debt. I can remember that very well. And after that, my wife and I one day woke up and saw each other's eyes and started to cry because we were frustrated about that. So that was like the break point for me. And I stopped thinking as a musician and started to think like as a business owner. And we changed everything for our business. So we went from 240 students to have 700 students with a lot of profit for us, no debt. And we completely transformed our business. So I've started to study marketing. I started to study business. And yeah, that completely transformed our business and our lives. And so after that, we were free. So our business did not depend on us. And then I just started an agency for music schools where we're trying to help them grow and we're trying to help them apply the same systems and things that worked for us. But basically that's what we're doing right now. So our agency we just started. We have like 8 months and we got 7 clients. We just signed up a new one yesterday.
Awesome.
And we're very happy about the results for ourselves and for our business and for our music school, the music schools that we are serving.
Yeah, I love that story so much because really so many business owners may find themselves in a very similar position that you were in, where they love what they do, they're passionate about it, but financially there's something that's not working for them or it's sucking all their time and they're not really sure what to do about it. And unfortunately, some people give up or they think that, they're just not cut out for this business, but you did not think that. You realized that you had the power to change what it was that wasn't working and that you could create something different within that existing business. And that's exactly what you did. So before we dive in a little bit more, I'd love for you to tell the audience a little bit about some of those changes that you implemented in your business that turned it from 200 and something students to over 700 students, but also increased profitability and freed you up personally from running the day-to-day of the business itself.
Yeah, so the first thing that if you're a music school owner and you're listening to this, is that you have to understand that you have to start thinking like a business owner. And when I switched to that mindset, I started to understand that our business was not scalable at all because music schools the basic model is like private lessons, one teacher, one student. And as you can understand, it's impossible to scale a business and be profitable with that model.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what's like the first thing that my wife and I understand, that we have to change that model in order to be more profitable. So we start and we failed a lot with a lot of different models. So we start to create bands and we start to do other things to create groups,
Yeah.
And we failed for like 2 years after, we experiment with a lot of different things and books and methods. So we had to create our own method in order to be profitable. So what we created, it was like, so we take the best of both worlds. So we got the best things from the private lessons, and we got the best from group lessons that are more profitable because you have more students at the same time.
Yeah.
So we create a kind of private lessons in a group environment. In it's a way that we say it. So we have the benefits of the private lessons, but we do it in groups of up to 8 students.
Yeah,
So
I love that so much. I think that that's such an important lesson for people to really think about, because too many business models, they are very difficult to scale without you personally being involved. And a lot of people accept that that's the model of the business they're in, but you didn't. You said, I'm going to change the model. I'm going to create my own model if I have to, because just because the industry has done it this way for X number of years, it doesn't mean it's right. And it doesn't mean I have to do it. So I think thinking outside of the box and being willing to test and experiment, it's so important. And like you said, you feel like you failed for about 2 years, but really you weren't failing. You were getting closer to that moment where everything that you were learning through those different tests and experiments was really coming together and giving you the data that you needed to see the direction that ultimately was going to work best for you. So I love that so much. And I think that part of what I want everyone to understand on the agency side that you're helping these other businesses with is not just the marketing, it's the back end system and process as well, because I understand this really, really clearly, because it's in large part what I try and help my students or my clients with. It's not just about running an ad and getting a private lesson student. Like if your back end model is broken or not really set up to allow you to profit as you need to, then marketing on its own, it's not all that you need. You will end up just putting more stress and pressure on yourself without the ability to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that, hey, maybe I'm taking all of these appointments or doing all these lessons right now, but very soon I won't be the one that's doing that. And so I think that really gives people a drive to continue. But if you don't see a way out, if you just think that this is how it's going to be, that the advertising is bringing a lot of new students, but all those new students are taking away all of my time and I don't have time for anything else, you're going to be unlikely to continue. So I think it's a really important thing for everyone to listen to, that it's not just about marketing. When things aren't working in your business, there are things that you have to take responsibility for that you can control, that no amount of marketing will ever be able to change for you. And that's exactly what you did. So I love that so much. And then I do want to have you tell them a little bit about what your sales process is. So tell them about the offer that you decided on, tell them about what that sales process actually is, because I think that's a really big part of the success that you've been able to have within the music school, and something that you're now able to share with other music school owners as well.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that we saw is that when you have, now that we get the model right, so the group lessons, the other problem was the marketing and the sales process.
Yeah.
Because now we have to fill those groups. And that was another thing that we had to start focus on, So then we started to think about what is the thing that always parents wants to know before they start music lessons. Some parents already know if their kids want to play piano or guitar or singing lessons or whatever, but many other parents, a lot of parents, do not know what their kids wants to play. They know they want to put their kids on an activity, but they are not sure what activity first.
Yeah.
And the second, if they identify that music is the best one, the best activity, which I believe it is, they do not know which instruments is the best for their kids. So that's because that's the main, the first question that parents always ask when we get more prospects on the phone. So we create an offer for that, and we create a music exploration class where we help parents and kids. So this is a private interview. We invite them to visit our school, be on a schedule software, and we invite them to come to our school, and we run this exploration class. We make kids to explore with piano, guitar, with a little bit with the voice and the other instruments that we teach. And at the end of this lesson, we make a recommendation to the parent. So we recommend them that piano is the best instrument for your kid for this and that. Mm-hmm. So we have a process for it and a script for it. And after that, we convert more than 80% of the people that come to that exploration class. So we understand that that was like the main offer that we want to put out there on marketing. So pretty much that's all what we do. We try to focus on that when we advertise. We invite people to come and visit and make an exploration class or a free lesson. Because a free lesson, it's very easy for the parent to understand, but what for us, it really is an exploration class where the kids can explore other instruments. And that's going to make the process easier for the parent. And for that reason, your sales are going to be, you're going to sell more. And also the retention is going to be better, because in a private, one-on-one private interview with a parent, you're going to be able to explain how your systems works, how your methods works, and you're going to commit the parent for a long-term vision. And that's a mistake that many music schools make. They do not set the parents for the long run. They do not have levels or anything like that. They're just thinking, okay, so music is a lifetime journey, or you can say 1 month or 3 months, and then that's it. We don't do that. We guide the parents and we help them understand on this exploration class that this is a long-term commitment, and that helps for retention too.
Yeah, no, I love this offer so much because it really checks all of the boxes that business owners need to be thinking about. So the first thing is, this is a loss leader offer. You're inviting people to come to this class 100% free, no commitment. And I know that too many business owners, they're terrified to use a loss leader offer because they have this idea that, oh, if I'm giving something away for free, there's no way I'm ever going to profit off of that. But the truth is that there are simply certain products and services that someone will not realize the impacts or how much they will love it or the value or importance of it if they've never experienced anything at all. And so sometimes you have to be willing, if you're confident in your product and service, to give something away without expectation, knowing that you have a back-end process and system to convert those leads and that you will profit from a free loss leader such as this. So the other thing I love about it is that you really created this based on what your customers actually needed. This was their very first question. This was their biggest concern or the biggest hangup that they had with signing their children up for music lessons. They didn't want to get them involved in something that wasn't going to stick or that they weren't going to enjoy. And they simply really didn't know if their child would, enjoy this at all or want to do this. But I think most importantly, what you're able to do through this class is make it personalized so that it does not feel like you're just a number. You actually have somebody that is analyzing your child. And we've actually discussed some of the other parts of that exploration class, which is, really kind of doing this analysis of their personality type in a lot of ways, because different children based on their personality are more likely to lean towards certain instruments or maybe stick it out in the long run with certain instruments than others. So you mentioned that someone playing the piano, it's a really good idea for them to be focused and have kind of a goal mentality, because that is a very disciplined instrument. Whereas something like the drums could be a really great instrument for a child who's high energy, who loves to have fun. So every child is different. Every instrument is different. And you don't just throw out all these different options and let the parent, who has no knowledge, most likely, of music lessons at all, put the decision on them when they likely are going to make the wrong decision potentially because they don't have the information. So what you've done, you've really said, okay, if I'm going to get my clients and students to stay longer in this program and really commit to this journey, which it is, I need to make sure that they have the right fit from day one. Otherwise, it's simply not going to matter. So you're guiding them in the direction they should go. You're educating them in the way they should be educated from day one so that you're able to get them to the right place, to the right instrument, so that your retention is going to increase. So it's good for them, it's good for you, it's good for everyone. And that's what a great offer really should be. It should be something that does ease your prospects' concerns first and foremost. It should ease the resistance of getting started and trying it out for the first time. And it should also have your own profitability in mind. Because if you're putting out an offer that is focused on a product or service that's your least profitable or has the shortest retention time, you may get people to sign up, you may get new clients or students, but it's not going to really help you grow and scale your own business long term. So I think having that offer is such a big part of what you've been able to do. And the way that you created that was by listening and understanding what people needed and how it was impacting their ability or desire to move forward with your business. So I think that that's so awesome. And I really want people to take that to heart because there is a lot of confusion or a lot of bad offers that are put out there, mainly because business owners are only thinking about what they want and not what their customers actually need in order to really profit from those prospects long term. So listen, hear those questions, hear those concerns, and try and craft your offer around them, because Miguel is a perfect example of why that works so well. He was taking the biggest sticking point. He was really addressing it and overcoming it as the very first step. And then everything after that can become a lot easier. So I know that when you decided to start this agency, this was something that you were really excited about because, as you mentioned, when we first got started, there was nobody in the music school space that was really there to help you when you needed that help. And you wanted to be able to help other people with all of this trial and error that you had personally gone through and then come out on the other side of. So when you first started this agency side of your business, tell me about your thought process in terms of, how quickly you wanted to grow, what your goals were, and how that kind of evolved to this point.
Yeah, well, this started when COVID hits, actually. And so when COVID hits, we get hit also, but after a few months, we started to get results again. So we switched into online lessons, but we keep signing up new students, and the process still continues to work.
Yeah.
So I started to understand, okay, so this is a pretty good product, that we have a pretty good model that works really well. So we have to share with others. We have to help other music schools that are in danger because of COVID.
Yeah.
And that's how we started, my wife and I started to think. So what can we do? Can we do a coaching group or what can we do? And the thing is that there's a lot of information out there, but the main issue, I believe, it's implementation. So that's why we changed our mind about the coaching, and we started to think of, okay, let's do it as an agency plus coaching. So we coach our music school owners, our group of people, but we also do marketing and ads and all the hard part and hard to understand things for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we started, and then we decided to let's go and start it as an agency. And I don't know, for the first 6 or 7 months, we just get 3 clients. But I was okay with it because I just started with the process to understand how other markets, because I'm in Ecuador, in South America. And I thought at the beginning that maybe the market in the US, where I have all the clients there, it's different, but I just figured out that it's not. Parents are parents
Yeah.
and have the same concerns and want their kids to succeed in life, and they want to give their child tools in order to succeed, and music is one of those tools. So it's pretty much it's the same thing. Yeah, and yeah, we figured out, so it's okay, it's working for our music schools, and then we want to move forward with and get more clients. So pretty much that's the process.
And I love the way that you really were methodical in the way that you decided to start this. You didn't try and get 100 clients in the first month and then completely burn yourself out, or most importantly, not understand some of the things that you would need to do to improve their success. You were willing to start slow and really build the knowledge base that you needed for this new service, even though this was the exact same business that you currently run and still run. This is a different animal in terms of what you're going to need to do, your internal sales processes. And really, I think seeing if these other music schools were going to take the direction on the back end, because as you've mentioned, the traditional model is that independent private lesson, and that model is not scalable. Most of these businesses don't have a formal sales process. They're really not following a system. And so, like you mentioned, you can run ads for people, but if they don't have that back end support, how much good is it really going to do them? And so you were really willing to marry the two of those together and say, you know, we are going to coach people. We are going to make sure that they're implementing a process that will actually work for them, instead of just saying, hey, let me run ads to get you new students, and whatever you choose to do with those from there, that's on you. So that's a big problem I see in the agency space, is sometimes people want to move too fast early on. If they haven't been working with agency clients in some capacity before, even if you were already a business owner, it's very different. And you need to be willing to take some time to understand your core audience and understand what you need to be providing on your end to improve their success, instead of just saying, I'm going to get as many clients as I can and I'll figure it out along the way, even if some of these clients get horrible results or they slip through the cracks and we forget about them. And you care deeply about these music school owners and these music schools. And so you wanted to make sure that you weren't over promising, that you were over delivering instead of over promising, and being willing to methodically take your time and adjust accordingly, I think is a lesson that a lot of people need to be willing to accept, because it is very easy to, want to try and go really fast and increase your revenue and explode into $1 million agency overnight. But the truth is, I don't believe it works like that. You can make it happen quickly, but is it going to be at the expense of your clients? And I don't think that that's something that you want. That was never anything that I wanted. I wanted to make sure that whatever was being done was always a positive for the clients I was working with. And if I needed to take a little bit of time to grow my business, I was willing to do that. And so I love that that was really your thought process. So you joined my local marketing mastery program about, we'll say 3 months ago, 2 to 3 months ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about, tell me a little bit about what prompted you to seek out some additional support, and kind of what that tipping point was for you deciding that this was going to be a good fit for you.
Yeah. Okay. So I knew that I was about to serve different clients. So they were not in South America, or so they were in the US. So I need help with that to understand how the market works. And so what was like the main thing? And I started to search for local businesses, coaches. And I found you on a YouTube channel, and I really love the way you teach other agency and other local businesses how to succeed. And I feel very curious about it. That's why I scheduled a call. And I just, when so in this call, I understand that this is where I want to go and move forward. I just get it. Ali is the one, she can help me. she's going to be able to help me, because she already helped other local businesses and other agencies that are helping local businesses, and music schools are local businesses. And the other thing is that I already try a lot of online courses, and I'm kind of tired of it, because it's so like in front of a screen all day watching videos, and you don't have feedback. So I knew that I need feedback. I knew that that I need to understand more in depth about my clients and about how the agency is going to work, and where my agency is going to move forward. So yeah, that I know that I have to invest in this program, because I will have feedback, so live and frequent, and that is your program have given me peace of mind. So every time I go into a call, I know that you're going to help me figure it out what is going on right now with the process or with my clients, because as you said, I really care for them a lot, because I've been where they are right now, and it's awful. So I really want to help them, and for me, it's very important that they succeed. And that's why I started in your program, because you also understand agencies and local businesses, and you wanted sincerely us to succeed. And so, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate your kind of your feelings about courses at this point. In a lot of ways, that's kind of why I first decided to structure it the way that it is currently structured, because I had also been through that, very same cycle when I first started doing this type of marketing for local businesses. Really, I guess it was in 2012. There was nobody to help me on the local side. I had to take so many different courses that were mainly designed for like e-commerce businesses or, other types of businesses that really didn't relate in any way to local, but I had to take what I thought would work from them and test them. And it was really a very slow process, but ultimately the same that you were able to do through trial and error, really create kind of your own system for your client base that would allow them to not have to go through the same things that you went through to learn it all. But most importantly, every business is different. Every offer is different. Every technical issue is sometimes different, and trying to figure out how to move forward when all you have are pre-recorded videos can be incredibly difficult.
It's frustrating.
It is not having somebody that you can simply ask or that can say, okay, here, let's click this button and then you're good. That was something that I knew my client base, especially, which when I first started the program, it wasn't designed for agencies at all. It was just for local business owners. But over time, I had a lot of agencies that wanted help too. So we created, coursework for them as well. And so now it really is all one big program together, because you ultimately deal with the same types of challenges. The ads, if they're running ads for local businesses, the local businesses are doing those same type of advertising campaigns. And then ultimately we're all business owners who need very similar things. But I saw that this audience was not the most tech savvy. And if you just simply have a course to sell them and expect them to be able to implement all of this on their own without any other help, it's really, really an overreach, in my opinion.
And in marketing, things are always changing.
Yeah.
All the time. So
absolutely.
You need help. If you want to succeed, you need help. You need a coach.
And so we do calls 3 times a week. You're on virtually every single call, which I love, because that is where the benefit is. Obviously, we've got the online video portal with all the pre-recorded content, but I've always felt like the biggest benefit is the live aspect of it. And it really goes to show that when you show up and you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to invest, because I think yesterday on our call, we were talking about, one small aspect that you wanted to run. And I was like, you could do this if you want to invest money into it. And you're like, yes, I want to spend money. Like, that is your thought process. And that's the right thought process as a business owner, because as long as you're investing in the right things, it's going to produce a return, and it's going to do that faster than you'd be able to do it on your own. But over the course of the last however many months, 2 months, 3 months, whatever that may be, you have really done a lot through the program. You have just dove in and started setting things up, implementing, and really reaping the rewards of that. So let's talk a little bit about, what you first started setting up through the program, what we worked on, and kind of what the results were from that.
Okay, so before your program, we started with the logo and branding, and we started thinking that maybe we'll have to create a YouTube channel, maybe we'll have to create many and different landing pages, and started to create content and all that. So, and then we started with your program, and you make it so easy for us to implement that you don't need all that to get clients. You don't need all that to start. So what you need is a very straightforward process to get new clients, to schedule calls, and then you will be able to help them. And we started after 2 weeks, we get our first ad running, and we get our first 2 clients after 3 weeks. So after we started 2 weeks, then we started the ads. 1 week after that, we got 2 new clients, and that now we have 4 new clients. And we have appointments today, I believe, and Wednesday next week, Monday next week. So we're working with new. So our schedule is full already, and we're working with those people and trying to convert them into clients. And I think we're doing a good job with all the help that you provide for us, because you simplify things for us. We were complicated. Things. We thought that we had to create a lot of content, a lot of hours of content out there, but that was not how you thought of that process, and we just implemented.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. You were willing to not let perfect be the enemy of good. You were willing to just take my advice, go ahead and set it up. Okay, let's get it. Let's turn it on. You started seeing those results, and you did have to turn off your ads probably, after a week or 2, because you guys were full.
2 weeks,
And as we already talked about, you really have this mentality of wanting to provide great quality to every single person that you're working with. And so I know that exploding with 50 new clients in your first month, that's not your goal. You want to make sure that you're closing clients, increasing your own profitability, but that you're really helping them at the same time. And now you guys are able to turn your ads on whenever you're ready to start bringing new people on. You can turn them off when your schedule's getting full and you really want to focus on what you have. So I really have just been so impressed with you guys, and mainly just the initiative. Thanks. Because with any coaching program, it only works if you're willing to hold up your ends of the bargain. Nobody can do it all for you. Even with a done for you agency service, there's still so much that the agency cannot do for the business owner if they're not willing to do it and take those suggestions and make those changes. And so you have really been just a great example of how quickly this can work if you are willing to simply own this process and say, I'm going to go ahead and set it up and see what happens. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to, overcomplicate it or stress out about it. I'm simply going to do it. I'm simply going to move forward and then adjust accordingly from there. So you guys have done such a great job. I think that you have so much opportunity to really explode in this industry, not just because of the marketing that you're doing, but because I believe so much of the success that your clients are going to find will really be a result of your process and your sales process as well. We could probably talk about that, but maybe that's a good call for another time, because you have an hour and a half sales presentation that you're doing with these clients on those calls or before their clients that is allowing you to close them. And I think that that's a really interesting thing for us to talk about at some point. So maybe we will schedule another one of these and really dive into, what you are doing with those presentations to have such great conversion rates. So if you could give somebody advice on if they needed some support, if they wanted to join a program like this, what would you tell them?
If they're on the fence, I would say that just start. I thought So in the past, I invested in online courses because I thought that was cheap in a way. So it's better for me because I can learn that and apply it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can spend a year just trying to implement an online course.
Yeah.
So it's going to depend. Do you want to spend a year implementing and maybe another year to get results, or you want to get results now?
Yeah.
So I
In 2
value,
weeks.
yeah, I value my time a lot. I value my freedom a lot. So I want to apply things now. And believe me, you don't want to spend on an online course. You want somebody to help you and give you feedback. So
Mhm.
if someone out there is listening to this, just take the next step and start. You're going to get your money back because you're going, of course, you will have to work.
Yeah.
You will have to implement, but you will get your money back really, really, really fast. And yeah, so I will advise that just go for it. Stop overthinking it.
Mm-hmm. So for those people who maybe have never been in any type of group coaching environment before, tell them briefly before we go, like, what is your experience on those group calls? Do you feel like you get personal support? Is it intimidating to ask questions? I know that's something that we hear from people, they're a little worried about, sharing the details on a group call, but tell me a little bit about how you felt about the live calls and the attention that you're able to get for your own business specifically.
Yeah. Oh, the calls are amazing. So, so you always help us in all the questions that we have on that moment, and you never stop until all the questions are completely answered. And me and my group, because I am not the only one that joins to your coaching calls, are also one of my teammates also joins whenever she feels that needs help implementing things. And yeah, she always says that you're amazing, that you always help us, and you are so like in depth with all of our members, all of the other members in the groups. So yeah, pretty much it's an amazing experience. Is you feel that you have a backup, that somebody is backing you up, and as I said before, you are always worried about our results. You're always asking for results of our clients also, and yeah, that is always very excited to join to the calls because we know that we're going to fix things. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing, and I don't think it's intimidating at all. So for me, English is not my first language, so maybe I would feel like intimidated, but I don't feel like it. It's pretty, the call is pretty, it's a relaxed environment. Everybody is just joining there, and I believe all the members are very happy to be in that call, solving their problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's one of those things where everyone's at a different stage in their business. They're at a different stage of implementing these different systems when they join. There's nobody that's, on this same path together. So there's a lot of different types of questions that we hear. We hear the questions from people who are just getting started. Those basic and foundational questions, I also think are really important for everybody else to get a refresher on, because it can be easy to forget about some of those foundational things. And then we also have the more advanced questions or the more in-depth questions that can really encourage some of the people who are just getting started to see what's possible if you actually put in the work, to see where they might be able to be in the next couple of months. So I think it's a really great dynamic where everybody is able to kind of learn from each other as well. And I really do my best to, similar to how you do in your exploration classes, it's a small group, but you want it to feel like a private lesson. You want to give everybody their individual attention. It's not something where people are just shouting, their questions left and right. We really go in order. We make sure that whatever it is you're dealing with that day, that we get everything you need cleared up and addressed, and that time is focused on you. And then we move on to the next person. So for anybody who is thinking about getting involved in a course or a program like this, I am definitely thinking about doing kind of a free class day where we let people listen into these classes and see what it's like so they really can understand what the benefits for them might be. So thank you so much, Miguel, for taking this time to share your experience with my audience. I think they're really going to benefit from it. There's so much that they can learn from you and your journey so far.
Okay, thanks. Bye, Ali.